Welcome to the Aladdin Show. I hope everybody is doing well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I hope you're having an amazing time. Thank you for joining on the Aladdin Show. I have an amazing, beautiful guest with me. She's just, you would love her. You'll love her, you know. And today we're going to talk about how to get back up. There's so many people who go through life and something happens and they give up and they don't want to move forward and they stay down. And today is about getting back up. Yes, it's you. Get back up. So today, as I said, I've got amazing guest, Natasha Maswera. Is that right? Did I
Yes, you did.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you, Aladdin. Thank you so much.
Well, you're a businesswoman,
Yes.
and I know that you're running a business, and you're actually working on another one. It's
Yes.
a secret, so we won't go into that. And you are a very positive, uplifting, inspirational lady. I
Thank
mean,
you.
I've spoken to you a few times, and you're just an amazing individual.
Thank you.
And you know, the people that you know, I've seen how you talk to other people, and you kind of sense people, and you and the way you speak to them, your intention is to help them.
Yes.
You know, that's what I picked up from you, and I
Yes.
thought this is the lady I want in the show, because this show is about upliftment and becoming the best
It is,
version.
yes.
And thank you for giving me your time and coming on today. I know you're a busy lady, you know, busy lady. So thank you again for coming on.
Thank you, Aladdin.
Okay.
Thank you.
So today we're going to talk about, you know, get back up. And I know we had a chat on the phone before the show, and we were kind of discussing what to talk about. And we were saying that, you know, there's a lot of stuff happens to everybody's life, not just, you know, majority of people's life. And
Yes.
there's people who go through such situations and go through some people call it bad luck, or they seem to stay in that kind of mindset. You know, when that's the reason the topic is to get back up. We all fall,
Yes.
and some people get back up. Some people stay down there and think life is awful. There's nothing else, and that's it. So, what's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that are this. I think sometimes what happens with the people, I think when we spoke before, I gave you the metaphoric analogy about having a haystack. You know, and the way a haystack starts, it's a little small haystack, and as you gradually pick up more hay and more grass, it becomes this big bale. And I think when I think of people who are not up just yet, that need to get back up, I feel like they're carrying that big bale on them. Some people, it's already on top of them. They're lying flat on the floor. You know, they can't actually get up right now. Some people are probably on their knees because they've got a heavy load on them. And I gave you the analogy about the eye line. So if you are lying down from this burdensome, this thing you're carrying, your eye line level is not going to be looking straight forward or up. It's going to look down. If you were asked to walk the streets of anywhere you were at, to say, somebody said to you, for just a day or even a week, we want you to walk the streets of where you live looking down, what's going to happen to you? You're going to lose your self-esteem. You're not going to know where you're going. You're not going to have a compass. And I think what happens sometimes with people is they go through such a hard time in whatever stage they're at, whether they're the ones lying on the floor, on their knees, that whole metaphoric eye line, we've got to be able to see the future. You've got to be able to see what can happen for you in the future. But once you are down, sometimes you lose sense of that eye line level, you know?
So let me ask you, as a businesswoman, I know for myself, I mean, everybody goes through falling down.
Yes.
You know, like a baby falls down so many times, it gets back up again, because the baby knows it has no other negative, or it hasn't gone through life experiences, because it doesn't know better. So like, I'm going back up, I'm going back.
Yes.
As adults, when we fall, because of the stuff, as we said in this stuff that we accumulated of years of, you know, being in this world, or through conditioning, through family, and being brought up in a certain way, and beliefs and various things, has made us keep us down.
That is it. It's called a paradigm shift. You know, a paradigm is the way that you from birth how your parents raise you, when you're raised, you're being programmed by somebody else, what they instill with you inside of you. And your paradigm is that thing. And sometimes the paradigms that we live in, or the paradigms that we are in, are what affect us as to how we get back up, how we deal with situations. Most of us as adults actually need our paradigm to shift. The only way that paradigm can actually shift is by us going backwards into how we grew up, who we are, what's happened, and reprogram ourselves, because you cannot repeat the same action and expect different results, which what most of us as adults do. We repeat the same thing and expect different results. For you to have that paradigm shift, we've got to go back and go, what do I need to change? Some people are brought up in a home where maybe somebody told them, well, you're not really good at that. You're never really going to be good at that. That then snowballs into, I'm not good at anything. So those are the paradigms we're talking about, shifting that thought process, shifting the way that you've been told to think or been conditioned to think. And once you can do that, you can see you shift and everything becomes in alignment of what is your purpose.
So, as a businesswoman, have you been through things like that? Have you been down and?
Oh yes. Oh yes, I have. With me, I've been through quite a lot in my younger years. I'm kind of happy that now I'm in a stage where, yes, I still go through certain things, but I'm kind of happy that it happened in my past. I managed to work through it in isolation though. What I found when I went through the things I went through, isolation was really important at times, to try and process and overcome and find a way, how from this point do I get to point B? How do I get from where I'm at to a better position? And I also had life coaching.
Life coaching?
Yeah, I've actually had life coaching.
Wow.
And that really opened my eyes. Like, I know some people will go for counseling. I loved life coaching because life coaching is all about looking toward the future. It's very toward the future. It's not based on the negative sometimes of the situation that you're in. It's very, right, this is what's happened, but we need to move forward, which is sometimes what people need, just an uplift of somebody going, it's temporary, it's not forever. So yeah.
I know I was actually speaking to somebody recently, and I know there's so many stuff out there about, a lot of motivation and coaching and going to those great seminars, and you feel, wow, fantastic after going there, and you're really motivated, and you go back home, and 2 days later you're just back on that ground again.
Yes.
Yeah. But as you said, it's the feeling that we feel. But if you don't really shift that and mind-wise, then everything's temporary.
Yes.
It's nothing permanent. So to make a permanent change, we really need to have to kind of shift our mindset.
Yes.
Yeah? Yes.
That's the most powerful part, because the state of your mind is the state of everything. The state of your mind affects the decisions you make, how you progress. So if that is in a temporary state of, oh, I got this from this seminar, it has to be your own. You have to own that happiness. It starts from here. You can be given the happiness from somebody and it lasts for 2 days because you've not owned the happiness on your own. And that is the only way you can then have the seminar, come back buzzing, go, oh my goodness, I've had a great time. And then you take that and then you put it into something.
Yes.
It's a transfer of energy. You take it and you put it into something. If the mind is right, you can completely take that energy from that seminar and instill it in something. It could be a new business. It could be anything that you just want to go, that's a milestone for me,
So it's basically like starting a car, putting the key in. So if you go to a seminar, you come back, go buzzing, you put the car, and that gets it going. Obviously, the next step is now for you to keep going and making positive steps forward, or actions, and I would call it inspired actions.
Oh wow, I like that.
Yeah. Because
fantastic.
lot of people I've met and say they're feeling down and they feel, I've taken action, nothing has happened. you know, I'm doing this, I'm studying and I'm working, but yeah, I just don't feel I'm moving and nothing is working out. And from my own experience in life, what I've learned and was that it's the inspired action. It's becoming, as we know, becoming aligned.
Oh, yes.
First, just alignment to me is connecting to who you are.
Oh, yes.
Your higher self. And from there, inspired action happens. The idea you get, or go there, speak to somebody, that's inspired action.
Yes, that's
then you have to take action.
I love that word alignment. You know, when you think about alignment, I always think of it's such a big transition when somebody comes from a place where they, as you said, nothing's moving, nothing's changing, and then you change your mind, and then you have this alignment, and it's sort of like you open the floodgates to things you thought, could I really have that? I never knew I could have that. I can do that. And that is the power of alignment. You're absolutely right. And sometimes as well with people, with getting back up, it's not always the mind. Sometimes it's the environment we are in. The environment you're in is really important to look around. It could be your family member. It could be your friends that you hang around with. People that you spend your time with are vital into what kind of energy you're going to have to put into the things that you need to do the most. If you're around people who are negative, you're only going to get negative energy back. If you're around people that are positive, it's automatic. You're going to have a positive effect on whatever you're going to do. So the environment, especially when you're trying to get back up, always look around you, take a step back and go, in what environment am I trying to create a healthy environment? Am I in a healthy environment right now? Am I in an unhealthy environment? That's one way you can shift. You can start shifting because you get yourself out of a negative environment. For you to create a healthy environment, you've got to be in the state for it.
Definitely, I do agree that. And when people are down, they sometimes say, "Oh, I'm depressed." The word depression comes, and I mean, we all go through that phase sometimes, you know, feeling a bit down. But when people are really, really down, you know, even if they don't have that supportive environment, it's very important for them to realize, I feel, is that, you know, they're born for a purpose.
Yes.
It's not born for them to be in that state.
Yes.
We are born to be happy.
Yes.
You know, we are all born to be happy.
Yes.
Not every single person in this planet is born to be happy.
Yes.
You know, but if we look at other people and we say, oh, he or she's got this. No. We have the power. We have everything within ourselves, because the power is given to us equally, but I know that we are born in different environments, but the power with each one of us is equal. It's same. Everything is coming through each one of us, but what we do with it is important.
Yes.
Some people are homeless. They know what they have, and they, you know, next minute, 2 years later, they're in a different place.
Yes.
You know, so you can't say, well, you need this. If they could do
it, exactly.
You
yes.
know? And being down, we in that situation, most of us do make excuses.
Yes.
We do blame people.
Yes.
We feel, you know, because of this reason or for that reason, we're here.
That's fantastic. I always say, as human beings, we have deep reservoirs. We have deep reservoirs, and it's up to us as individuals whether we find the reservoirs, which everyone's reservoirs are different, what your strengths are and what your weaknesses. But I always think human beings, we have deep reservoirs. We can dig deep and really find the best of all of us. We really can. Individually, we can do it.
We can. And this is the thing about this is this is why, you know, if, for example, if somebody's career-wise, you know, if it's not working out, join up forces with somebody with a strength that you feel that you might not have, but you have something else that they need as well.
Yes.
You know, but never. It's about, you know, being down. Sometimes most people feel alone. It's
yes.
alone, you know, the lonely feeling that. But actually, they are never alone.
You're never alone, and sometimes it could be that maybe on that day you're feeling a bit down. It could be you're sitting in a coffee shop. Not everybody has the confidence to speak to people, but it could be the one person who makes eye contact with you, right? It could be the person wherever you go, you never know who you're going to meet and what purpose they serve in your life. Everybody we meet in our life serves a purpose. They really do. And I greatly believe in that. I mean, the way I met you, and we met in such an incredible way, and we both felt like this person is such a positive person. We were thinking the exact same things about each other.
That's exactly.
You know, we sat down and we had like such a long conversation, and it wasn't draining. It felt so powerful. We felt so energized, you know, and everybody deserves that kind of a conversation. You know, when you meet people or you're sat down with people and you're talking and you feel like, oh my God, I don't feel like I need to go and have a nap after this conversation. You feel like I need to go take over the world.
Yeah, that's how you know that this are the people that are really right for you.
Yes.
And opposite, you'll know is somebody who's really draining, and you feel like, as I said, you feel really tired afterwards, or really drained, or something like this. It's so much indication that you can kind of make a choice who you want to be with. You know, people say, I don't know if I should be here with him or her. Well, if you feel good, then you're in the right place. If you're not, then you're in the wrong place. You're the wrong person. You know, and that's how we don't seem to use the tools that we've given. Like the feeling is the key. Feeling is our sat nav.
I love that.
It's a sat nav. Well, sometimes sat navs do go wrong in the real sat nav, but this inner sat nav is absolutely pinpoints everything.
It tells you the truth. It tells you the truth.
But we don't want to face it.
Sometimes, you know, it warns you. It says no, and people, you kind of turn a blind eye, and then it forces you into a way like goes, I did tell you that was a wrong turn. Yeah. The inside sat nav is never wrong. You're absolutely right.
It's never wrong.
It's never wrong.
And trust me, I'm going to be honest, I went against so many times with my sat nav because I always believed that other people were right.
Yes.
I believe their sat nav might be telling them the right, but actually they weren't following the sat nav. They were just following. They've got an intention.
Yes.
It was different to the inner being of theirs.
Yes.
So that was a lesson for me, is follow my sat nav. And I say to people, if it doesn't feel right, it's not for me.
It's not for you, exactly. We had this conversation about even sometimes seeking, like just asking somebody, oh, what do you think about this? Sometimes it's totally okay. I remember us having this conversation. It's totally okay to just stick with what you believe is okay in that situation. The input of others sometimes may not be the most valuable thing in that time. It might not be what you actually need. What you believe in that moment is enough. You know, but sometimes as humans we go, oh, you know, I want to learn from somebody else. Maybe if I ask them, I'll learn something. And I remember you saying, sometimes you don't need that. What you know is okay.
I actually speak to somebody which I won't mention. It's actually my son, but so he goes, there's so much stuff out there. You get confused who to follow and this and that, because the youngsters, they want YouTube and social media, and everyone's getting so much information, and he was just saying it's so easy that I didn't even bother watching all this. And he's right. Like, we were so bombarded with so many information. Information is good, but too much of you don't know what. But I think is you know, you take something in, if you just follow this bit, the inner guidance, I
also recommend, like, if you're trying to get back up, as Aladdin is just said, it's also important to have some level of self-development every day. Self-development is you're nourishing yourself on a daily basis. It could be 10-15 minutes of a book that you are reading. Read a few pages of that book, and as your day goes by, you're processing that information. It could be a YouTube video. It could be somebody you follow on YouTube who inspires you in whatever way. That is personal development that is needed. For me, my favorite of all time is Bob Proctor. I listen to him every day. Till today. I think personal development is really important, and diversify your personal development. You always diversify it. It is not always about one thing. Personal development entails so many things, and I think just be a well-rounded developed human being is really important. So if you're trying to get back up, even 10-15 minutes each day of personal development is incredible. It will move mountains for you.
But also another thing that just came to me for people who are actually, trying to get back up is it's okay to take time out.
Yes.
It's okay to go to bed, have a sleep for 2 days, just feel right.
Yes.
But also know that it's only temporary. This, whatever it is temporary. Now it's like, know that also about the past. Don't overthink it. Don't repeat what's happened. To say, you know what, today is a new day.
Yeah, fantastic.
It's a new opportunity. I'm a new person.
I
woke up this morning. I'm the new person. So let's do this. Because I remember certain things happened in the past and it wasn't really good. And then I went through a phase of one day of like feeling down. And next morning I woke up and I said, that's it. I'm going forward. And I just went like a choo-choo train, like on a train, like try to do things. And it is, that was, I don't like being down. Me personally, I'm thinking if I'm down for a day or two, that's fine. But that's what I need, a rest, a break. And then it get more clarity, get my thoughts together, and then.
I like that. My problem in the past was impatience. My impatience would then build into me thinking I don't have clarity. I've learned patience. Because what would actually happen would be I would grow impatient, I would feel I have no clarity, I would feel down for no reason. And then the next day I would wake up, and just as you said, and go, no, I've got to do this. But it is totally okay. By the next day, when you've taken time out and you wake up and you go, oh, there is clarity. It wasn't so bad. Sometimes, how do we react to situations? I was always very impatient. It just was part of me, My brain sometimes is like 100 miles an hour, but life and doing things is not 100 miles an hour in a day. Everybody's not at your pace, and I've had to learn that not everybody's at my pace. That impatience created the non-clarity days for me, when actually there was clarity already. I was just being impatient. So I think that as well. I also think that in business, if you're going to work with people, business is changing. The cutthroatness, I think, is not something that people embrace. I like to work with people who are developing themselves, or I can help them develop as people, because the most powerful thing about developing the people around you or helping them develop themselves is you know that if somebody's developing themselves as a person, they can only do better. They can only do better. They can't digress. They can only do better. So if you're working with people, you meet somebody and you think, oh wow, this person is, developing themselves, or maybe they could do better, and you work together. There is nothing better than that in business, because whatever product you make together is going to be amazing. Because that person wants to do better, you want them to do better, and you're doing better. So it's a great recipe.
Yes, definitely a great recipe. Well, need to find those right people. One side here.
Sure.
No, you are a very amazing and inspirational lady, and
Thank you.
I'm sure a lot of people are picking up good pointers and feeling a bit uplifted today, just listening to you, saying, get up, don't stay down, get up, get
Definitely.
up. Yeah, definitely get up. So we're kind of ending to the end. Like nearly 30 minutes in.
I know, I can't believe it.
It is. This is amazing. I love this. This is what we mean by when you find people who are in a similar mindset. And every guest that I've had on my show had the similar mindsets. Wow. It's so amazing. I'm always looking for people with great vibration, frequency.
Yes, that's it.
And the time flies by.
I did not think that was. Wow, that went by fast.
Yeah. So as I said, you're a businesswoman, and you love helping people.
Yes.
And you're an uplifter.
Yes.
And say, for example, somebody wants to kind of contact you and get a bit of advice from you.
Yes.
Are you on Facebook?
I am on Facebook.
Yeah?
I am on Facebook.
Are you active?
I am active. You can actually add me on my Facebook, and yes, definitely, I love uplifting people. Love it. And if you want to get in touch with me, depending on what help you need, I have no problems with that. That would be actually very big blessing in my life.
Yes. Wow. Yeah. No. As I said, I'm sure a lot of people will gain a lot just by having a wee chat with you.
Yes.
Yes. Sometimes it's all about connecting with that person. They can't, maybe they can't speak to anybody else. They don't feel connected, and maybe they watch this show and they feel like Natasha, she's got great energy. I'd love to have a wee chat with her and get a bit of guidance.
I'm open to that, definitely.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming on to my show.
Thank you for having me, Aladdin. Thank you.
I love her smile. She's so bubbly.
Thank you.
Personality. So I'd like to say thank you, Natasha. I would love to get you back. I mean, I'm doing other shows. I'm going to get a group of ladies coming on and talk about, positive.
That'll be amazing.
So that'll be a good thing to have. So that'll be arranged. So I would love to have you back on. So thank you again, and thank you everybody for coming on and being part of this show. I really want to thank everybody that watches my show every week, and really that's very powerful. That's empowering me to do more shows every week, and I'm so thankful for that. And I want to thank Graphics Media, GTV Media as well, supporting me every week doing the show as well. So anyway, I would love you to, I'm doing the shows every week, but please join me next week, and I'll be on next Wednesday and the week after that. So I've got a few guests more empowering guests, which will be actually coming on and sharing their knowledge and their experience with you folks out there, to empower you to become the best version of yourself. Remember, the show is about you. It's not about us. It's about you. What we could do for you is the most important thing. So thank you again. Thank you, and I hope you could join me next week. Bye.
If you have a dream